Hey guys, Mr. Clares one more time. Yesterday we talked about the trimmer and the new stud combination, my trimmer stud and my new combination, and then I said today that we'd talk about headers and built-up headers and things like that. Now, a couple things that you need to keep in mind with a header. Remember yesterday we said that the length of your trimmer stud is going to be the height of your rough opening for your door minus that inch and a half for the sole plate. Now, with the header, it's going to be a little bit different. We are going to take the width of the rough opening that we want, and we're going to add the thickness of both of our trimmer boards. Okay, so we have a 2x4 trimmer over here, we have another 2x4 trimmer over here. So they're both an inch and a half thick, so we have to add 3 inches to the thick or to the width of our header boards in order for that header to sit on top of these trimmer boards and still have our rough opening dimensions between our two trimmers. So that's the important thing to keep in mind with headers, is that you need to make them whatever length the rough opening is plus whatever the thickness of your total trimmer boards are. So if we had 2 trimmers, because we're supporting a really big rough opening, we had 2 on each side, that would be a total of 6 inches that we'd have to add to the length of our header board. So just keep that in mind. But again, today we're just dealing with a single trimmer board, inch and a half thick. We've got 2 of them, therefore we have to add 3 inches to the width or the length of our trimmer or our header boards. So I said yesterday, and I made a mistake on the video, but I really want this rough opening to be 5 feet wide between my 2 trimmer studs. So I cut my header boards. I'm going to use 2x4s for my header boards. I got 2 header boards cut. And then I also have a sandwich board, which in this case is just a piece of 1/2 inch OSB. You can use just about anything that's 1/2 inch if you're going in between 2x4s. Now, why did I do that? Well, when I take my 2 header boards, my 2 2x4s that I'm using for headers, plus I add that 1/2 inch thickness of OSB, I am now at 3.5 inches thick on my header, which happens to be the same thickness or the same as the width of my trimmer and my studs. So that's why we build it up that way. And it's going to be in a sandwich, which means that the OSB is going to be in the middle between the 2 2x4s. Now, if I'm using 2x6s, I would do the same thing. I would just, instead of cutting a piece of OSB to 3.5 inches wide so it fits in there nice, I would have to cut a piece of OSB 5.5 inches wide, which is the same as the width of a 2x6. So really, without further ado, I've got these boards crowned so that the crowns are running the same way. And when I put this thing together, I want to make sure that the crowns are to the top side of my wall system. So as the weight bears down on that header, it might just drive it back to completely or perfectly straight. Will it matter that much in a small 10x10 shed? Not at all. I mean, I probably wouldn't even need to build up a header for this shed, but I want to just for technical and demonstration purposes for you guys today. Also, if I ever have these videos archived in the Smithsonian, people can use them for, how to build their shed at home. So, anywho, just like anything else, workmanship's important. I'm going to make sure that my edges are flush and my ends are flush. So I've got that 2x4 sandwich made. I got a 2x4 on the top, a 2x4 on the bottom, my piece of OSB in the middle. Now, yesterday, recall that we had to drive nails at an angle so they wouldn't poke through. Well, this is a 3.25 inch nail. Our total thickness is 3.5 inches, so we don't have to worry about that today. So I'm just going to drive a nail in. Again, I'm using my non-waffle faced hammer because people might see this if they come into the building and they're exiting and they look up and I got a bunch of donkey tracks in the header. That's again a workmanship thing and a pride. So if I do end up smacking this with my hammer and leaving a donkey track. At least it's not going to be a waffle-faced donkey track. So then I'm just going to kind of tap things, make sure that they stay nice and straight and flush on the ends. And I'm going to put a nail about every 6 to 9 inches, again, in a staggered pattern, just like we had before. Okay. And I'm going to work my way down, and you can see that I've got a little bit of variance here. So again, just like on our header trimmer combination, or our trimmer new stud combination, I just got to pull these boards to keep them nice and aligned as I go through this. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to finish nailing this thing together. I'm going to nail on the top side, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to nail on the other side as well, just to hold that sandwich together. Because if I don't have a nail head on this side, it could pull apart. Is it going to pull apart on a 10-foot shed? Absolutely not, at least not in any weather that we get in Minnesota usually. So I'll pause the video. I'll get everything nailed together. We'll come back. We'll show you how to install it. All right, so I got the header all nailed together. I've got it nailed on both sides. I don't know if you can see the nails, but the drill nails through on both sides. So the last thing we have to do today is just we're going to install this header in between our trimmer new stud combination. If you recall, if you worked on the house, we just had a single board header, a 2x12, that we nailed in place, and that supported the weight. About the only time we had a built-up header is when we went over that huge picture window and when we went over the patio door. And then we bought that laminated header material. And for example, I am going to put in a single garage door in my house, or in my garage, I should say, and it's 16 feet from one side to the other. So the rough opening on that is 16 feet. So I have to have a pretty good sized header. So I bought two 14-inch wide, 1.5 inch thick, 18-foot long headers, so I can cut them down to the right size. So because that garage door header has to support the weight of the roof above it, and it is on a load-bearing wall, so I want to make sure that I don't have my garage header start to sag after a while. But if you were getting back to our house, you know, that single 2x12 supported the entire weight on the load-bearing and the non-load-bearing walls. So in this case, there's not going to be a lot of weight on this header, so I don't need to go any heavier than what I've already got it. But just realize that the size of your rough opening is going to dictate how thick this header should be in this direction. So I've got my crown facing up, so my header crowns just ever so slightly this way. Keep in mind, this is the top of the header, and this is the bottom of the header, so my cripple studs are going to go on this part right here. So all I got to really do is lay my header so that I will not see my plywood sandwich. If I lay it this way that I can see that plywood, I've got that going the wrong way, because a 2x4 has got a lot more strength when it lays in this direction than when it lays in that direction. So that's the reason why I'm turning it like that. Now, is it going to make a whole big difference? Absolutely not. Not on a little 10-foot garage door with a 5-foot wide door opening. But so all I'm going to do, I'm going to flush it. I'm going to make sure that I keep my header tight on top of my trimmer stud. I don't know if you can see that from where you're at, but I really got to make sure I keep that. I don't want a gap there between, I want that header resting right on top of that trimmer stud. So I really got to hold that in place and make sure that I keep that header on top of that trimmer. And I want to apply 4 nails. You know, our nailing pattern is that you're going to have, you know, 1 nail for every 2 inches of board thickness. So I've got a 2x4 here, so I put 2 nails. And then I'd want to put 2 nails into that bottom 2x4 as well. So I'll just do the top one here. I I think everybody gets the idea of how to pound nail. I'll slide that out of the way a little bit. Bring my other trimmer new stud combination into play here. Again, making sure that everything is flat. It's sitting on top of my header, or my header sitting on top of my trimmer. All right. Get my other nail in there. And then I'd want to put 2 nails in the bottom into this other 2x4 on both sides. Okay. So that's pretty much it for headers. And again, all the weight of whatever's on top of this header is going to be transferred through the cripple studs to the header, over to the trimmer studs, and then down to my sole plate. So that's what the purpose of the header is. So you may have build-up headers like this. You may not. Depends upon your application. Read your blueprint, your architect's plan. They'll tell you exactly what you should have for headers. But the important thing is that header's got to support that weight so it doesn't affect the function of your window or your door system. All right? So that's it for today. Hopefully this kept pretty short. I didn't get to hear what the announcement was. So until next time, everybody be safe and take care.